As a fan of photography, I appreciate a good, sharp photo as much as the next guy. But you gotta admit, I gotta admit, the look that you get with a film camera, it's undeniable. A good photo shot with a film camera isn't just a good photo. It doesn't just look good, but it also feels good. Now, I know that there's a lot of ways you can get a digital photograph, something shot with a modern camera like a mirrorless, like I'm using here. You can get that to look something like film. You just need to know how to color grade, adjust grain, halation, bloom, and all sorts of other stuff. But what if you had a way to make a modern, good photo look like it was shot on a film camera? Well, that is where Dehancer comes in. Dehancer is a film emulation plugin for image editors such as Photoshop, Lightroom, Capture One, and Affinity Photo. And they also have one for DaVinci Resolve, so you can get your videos to look filmatic as well. A little while ago, the Dehancer team approached me and asked if I wanted to make a review on this plugin. I went ahead and asked if can I be honest? Are they gonna give me the thing to try out, or what's the deal here? Well, they said that they would provide me with the plugin, just told me to go ahead, try it out, and honestly tell us what you feel. How does it feel to use it? So with that, this video is not sponsored by Dehancer. No money has changed hands. They do not get an input on the contents of this video. I just simply was provided the plugin so I could make a review out of it. And that is a good approach because I do have some thoughts. So with all of that out of the way, let's hop into Affinity Photo and I'll show you around the plugin itself. And here we are in Affinity Photo. So to start using the plugin, well, first you gotta install it. And the Affinity Photo version of the plugin, as well as the Capture One version, are mostly variations of the Photoshop and Lightroom plugin. So you install them as if you were installing them on those pieces of software, and then you use the way that Affinity Photo, for example, in my case, you just point it at the Photoshop plugin folder. Doesn't require Photoshop, but it's just a weird workaround that you need to do. This is what I'm going to be showcasing the plugin with. This is a beautiful shot of Cuba. Not mine, but it is free. So I just feel like this is the perfect image where the plugin can actually be utilized to its fullest. So once you've installed it, here in Affinity Photo, you just go Filters, Plugins, and Dehancer. Just select a layer. And this is what we're met with. Now there are 64 different film profiles as of shooting this, so that's a lot. The UI itself is very simple. You have profiles, your self-made presets. You can categorize the film types themselves. You can change the profiles. That's the same thing as the list over here. And then on the right side, you have your more detailed adjustments. These do not change with the profile that you select on the left. These are just additional changes that you can make after the profile has been added. Some simple buttons over here, and then just click OK when you're ready. Personally, I would appreciate a full screen button that I could just click and the preview would be full screened, because now I have to manually do it. And if I don't do it, if I edit it in a smaller window, the image is going to be a lot sharper in the preview than it is going to be when it's applied to the full-sized image. Also, what would be very nice is when I hover over the different detail adjustments, you could possibly get something like a little tooltip that tells you what it does. Just my 2 cents here. Now, do notice that I'm using version 2.0 beta. So there are some bugs that I've ran into. I've asked the Dehancer team about them. They're on top of it. They're trying to fix them. For now, we are probably going to see 2 or 3 bugs that I've constantly encountered. Okay, so let's start looking at the different sorts of film profiles that we have here. And this is exactly what I thought was going to happen. So as you can see, I'm changing the profile, but the preview is not updating. There we go. You can either do that or click off the preview and click it back on. Like I said, beta version, bug, Dehancer knows about it. They're trying to fix it. But here we can see the extensive amount of different profiles. We got a lot of different Fuji films, Kodaks, a lot of Kodaks, some Minoltas. Just, that's a lot of different stuff. The one that I want to use for this one is in the Kodaks, and it would be the Kodak Vision 3 500T, I think. Would be a lot easier if the preview updated. You can of course push and pull the exposure of the film, and you can see that the preview is trying to update as best it can, but it's not, it's not updating straight away. Then over here on the right, we have source, which has your temperature and tint. For the photo itself, we can change our black point, white point, the print. So this essentially changes the profile on the color profile of the image itself. You can adjust the grain, color head, elation, bloom, and vignette. So what I'm interested in this time is bloom, film grain, change this over to print film. There we go. Increase the black point a little bit. Make temperature a little warmer. Let's see about the white point. It's kind of hard to do when the preview doesn't update. Lower the exposure just a tad. Increase the tonal contrast. Increase the color density. Oh yeah. Just a bit lower on the contrast, a bit more on the exposure. There we go. Turn on the grain, increase the size, the amount. The grain adjustments, you can change the resolution of the grain and separately change how much grain is in the shadows, the midtones, and the highlights, and in the colored areas. So very extensive grain adjustments. So you can definitely get the grain that you want. I want to lower the resolution itself. There we go. Turn on bloom. And turn on vignette. And there we go. That's pretty much what I wanted to do. Go ahead, apply the plugin. Now you can see the before and after. You can definitely notice that this looks like it was shot on an old film, like an old camera way back when. So let's hop back out of Affinity Photo and I can show you a few more examples of what I was able to do with the plugin. And there we go. That is a few more examples of what I was able to come up with by using the plugin. I've been playing around with it for about 2 weeks now. If you've liked what you've seen so far, I will have the Dehancer website linked in the description below. But let's just have a little bit of a look. Depending on how much you liked what you saw, the Photoshop Lightroom Capture One Affinity Photo version will set you back $200 for 2 seats, meaning 2 devices. But you do want to check out the system requirements because they're not just run-of-the-mill for you. But as you've seen today, even I was having a little problem running it, and I have a pretty decent computer. So that is why if you're using it on Windows with Affinity Photo, especially in this case, I do recommend you go ahead and download the free trial so you can see if it works for you. The website also has a lot of good resources for different kinds of guides, setups, all sorts of stuff. So definitely check it out. But that is it. That is Dehancer. Is it the most revolutionary plugin in the world? No, but it is the best film emulation plugin that I've been able to find. It does get you as close to that film feel in those photos. And after reading up on what the team does to get those particularly good film profiles, you gotta hand it to you. It shows in the end result. But what did you think of the plugin? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments below. If this video helps you out at all, or if you found it interesting, why not leave a like and possibly consider a subscription to the channel, since I mean it is free and it does help me out. Helps you out and me, both of us. It helps us out. With that, I'm Lowfigh. I'm hoping you all have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.